horizons of the unknown come tales of new dimensions in time and space. These are stories of the future, adventures in which you'll live in a million could-be years, on 1,000 maybe worlds.
What's up, guys? Hope everyone had a good Christmas. It's Bumbleboo. He's back. What's up, brother? Good to see you again. Thanks for staying up late again. Hopefully you had good holidays. We're going to do some cool flying here today, I think. And look at that. We hit the follower goal. It's really hard to point at stuff that way. There it is. There it is. Hit the follower goal. 100 followers. Thanks to Sweet and Sassy Jen. let's see, 100 follower. And we're going to do some flying down in the Andes again today, you guys. I'm going to try the start of the task. I should say the start of the world record attempt. We practiced the end of the flight. Now we need to practice the beginning. And one of the main things to try is see if we can actually thermal at 8 o'clock in the morning. In real life, I would say no. But in the sim, maybe. One of our guys, I think XC Ken, told me that he did some research, and he found that 8:30 in the morning was when he noticed thermal activity starting to pick up. So we're going to try 8. Maybe 8 o'clock in the morning with the weather tweaked a little bit will produce some more reliable thermaling. So we may not get very far, and if that's the case, then we'll probably just start over and wind the clock forward until we can soar. So we'll see how it goes. Let's take a look at the task. 175 miles, just 2 turn points, a start and a finish. And we're going to start down here, our cool little spot of Calafate. Way down here in southern Argentina. It is so remote down here. And we're just going to fly straight north. Oh no, you got the corona. Oh, that's a bummer, buddy. Yeah, a lot of people getting sick, whether it's flu or corona. It's kind of going around. I had a couple days where I was kind of feeling rough, but never positive for corona. So, yeah, I got away with it lucky. But I also did just get back from Vegas, so give it a couple days here. We'll see how I'm feeling, right? Well, Bumble, no worries. Thanks for stopping by and saying hi. At least, won't be offended if you want to go get some sleep. That's the best thing for you when you're not feeling great. And maybe you can try the task on your own sometime and just see what you can learn. And yeah, we'll have many more flights to come for sure. So we're just doing this straight north task here, 175 miles. Pretty simple as far as navigation. And the question is really going to be how soarable it is. I've tweaked the weather profile. Let me take a look at the weather. I continue to work on refining this to try to find the ideal weather. And now I have 4 wind layers. Started out with just 1. Yeah. Really interested in this kind of scientific approach. Yeah, it's sort of scientific. I think the only difference between science and screwing around is writing it down. So I'm not really keeping notes, but we're recording the live stream, so I guess that's sort of like gathering data, right? So we need to take off at 8 a.m., not 8:30. We want to load in at 8. And so I think the biggest, trickiest thing we're having with the wind is we need a lot of tailwind. We need a good push to make a lot of miles. But it seems like, at least my experience so far in the sim, is the stronger wind makes the thermals much more difficult to climb in. They get broken up and much less consistent. So I've changed the wind to be lighter down low, and then and only get to 20 knots at 11,000 feet. So hopefully it's easier to climb up to and above that altitude. I guess we'll find out. And this is, of course, another training flight for preparing for another attempt at flying a world record distance of 1,400 miles, which is going to be a pretty crazy undertaking. But it'll be worth it. It'll be fun. And even if we can't really do it, it's fun to do these flights down here in the Andes. I love this scenery, particularly where we're taking off today. There's these very large lakes that look super cool. We'll get to fly over those. Check those out. So we're gonna click fly now at 6:15. So if anybody's watching wants to join in, 6:15 p.m. is the click fly time. Time.gov. I'll be watching that. In the meantime, I'm just gonna keep talking. The sun should be up for 2.5 hours already. Interesting to see how thermals will develop. Yes. I had no problem at all climbing at 10 o'clock in the morning. So, how much earlier can we go? Now, real life experience would tell me you're not likely to find consistent lift before noon, 11 o'clock. But it sure depends on the local weather, specific type of weather conditions. So, and how well the sim actually, really, sunrise should be 5:40. Right. Yeah, 6 o'clock could work. I don't know. We could try it. We could find out. It'll be like an experiment to run. I've also discovered that I'm pretty sure all of the record flights for distance and probably speed in a glider, all the world records were done in wave lift, which we don't have represented in the sim. And it would be my understanding that wave lift is not really a factor of sunlight because it's almost entirely wind. Unless it's that sunlight that generates the wind, but it's pretty much entirely wind waves going over the mountains. So, yeah, ridge lifted 30,000 feet, yeah. Right, yeah. All right, got about 2.5 minutes here. We'll click the button. We'll go fly. I'm going to fly the Discus 2C again, of course. And Bumble, I tried the new updated version of the flight computer that we're using, the LXNav replacement mod. And it seems to, by default, generate a tow plane out in front of the glider. I couldn't figure out how to turn that off. And so if you have a tow plane and then you try to winch launch, then like the cable is still connected to the airplane. So it didn't go very well. So I didn't spend a lot of time to play around with it. I just reverted back to the previous version we were running. You have to bind the cable to a button to release. Right. Yeah, it would be nice if that tow plane just wasn't there. But, oh, do they have launching methods? Well, not here they don't. Yeah, I don't know. I'll play with it someday. I'll play with it some more when I have some more time. Got just about a minute here to click the button. Oh, only the AS-33, yeah. Right, yep. I have that airplane installed, but I haven't flown it yet. Maybe I'll try it one of these days. Yeah, maybe a menu with a newer mod. I'm a little tired. AS-33 is super fast, huh? More than the noticeably more so than the Discus. Maybe that's the one I should be flying. I know that's a popular amongst the soaring community. I could add more ballast today, you're right. Maybe I'll try to do that. Maybe not, though, because it's going to be early in the morning, and maybe the lift will be light? I don't know. Maybe we can try more ballast. And I'm going to click the button here, 2 seconds. There we go. Okay. We are loading in. Yeah, the in-flight could be... let me play with that, just because I haven't yet done that. All right, here we are. El Calafate. Oh, there's somebody here in A320. All right, let's check the weather. Time 8:05. That's cool. So I went to 95 degrees. So we're gonna just go pretty hot. I bet it doesn't ever get that hot down here, but ground wind 6.6. This one always wants to change. Then we have wind at 5,000 feet, 15 knots from the south. 20 knots from the south at 10,000 feet. And at 18,000 feet, we've got 30 knots. So if we get that high, we'll have a nice strong tailwind. Let's take a look at, see where we are on the VF Farm. Yeah, there's somebody here. Just parked, somebody parked in the A320. Rainy Diamond 290 is here. Okay. This is some pretty remote, desolate area. And we've got early day. We've got sun, early sun here. All right, let's take a look. Let's turn this stuff off because I don't need it. Hide that. Close the canopy. And we want to see the ballast. I guess I can just dial it up there. Let's turn the ballast all the way up and see what happens. Yep, shows it there. Cool. And then we want to see, make sure that the map has loaded. Sometimes the map doesn't load. So that's there. I'll set the multiplayer settings, although I don't think there's anybody in here right now. Just because we'll do this. Just to have it. Add a new flight. Flight A. Task time 08. Tab 0. Oops. Can't tab. Create flight. There. You can even add it after starting. Yeah. Apparently, you should always fly with full ballast if you can achieve about 2 meters per second of lift. Right. Interesting. Yeah, I suppose you can always dump ballast if you need to. But we're just gonna go fly here, you guys. We'll. All right. Let's see if I remember how to do this. It's been a couple days. And I'm gonna go ahead and gonna mute the music because I want to listen to the Vario right off the toe here. Pull the gear up. Always forget to switch the units. Well, I did pretty alright there. Did you start the logging app? I did. Little nav map. There it is. There we are. Alright, so I got off tow and there's no lift right here. Oh, spoke too soon maybe. Super cool looking scenery just to start off here. Look at this light. This is pretty epic, I gotta say. I'll take it. Let the fun begin. So I'm thinking, I'm gonna kind of go on a suicide glide just across the water over here under these clouds, and should be amazing lift under these dark clouds. Yeah, we'll find out if there's lift here at 8 o'clock in the morning. That was my experience in the past, that this would be good lift under here. Super smooth conditions right now. Underneath this big body of water, you can barely tell that I'm moving. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't set my pressure altitude. 29 inches of mercury. Well, this is another thing I always forget to do. There we go. I'm at 1,900 feet. I think the sun only affects ground thermals. Cloud thermals could be something on its own. Interesting. Right. Which kind of doesn't make any sense because thermals are all powered by the sun. So, but I think I know what you mean because the way the sim generates thermals. So if we don't get up here, I guess I'll just land on the shore on the other side of here and then reload a half an hour later. We'll see. So far, very smooth. Coming up underneath this cloud here. Super cool, like greenish blue, turquoise blue water here. Let's see what we get. Still nothing. About a 9-knot tailwind. Pretty decent down here. 1,600 feet. Right, 3 sources of lift. Got it. Ooh, there we go. 2, 3 knots. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Actually, 12, 13, 14. I'll just start a gentle turn to the left. That was a nice, perfect gradual build up. See if I can lock in consistently here. I'm at 2,000 feet already. That's a big thermal. It is. That is a big bitch. And we got Leo the Lion down there on the runway. Looks like he's going to join us. What's up, Leo? I'm really shocked to see somebody else at that airport, unless it's one of our crew, but he's in an airliner and he's parked like he's trying to, do the full airliner thing. He's going through four hours of checklists. You're relieved that I'm not alone. Cool, man. No worries. Well, I can do it by myself if I have to. It's obviously more fun when I have others to fly with. 3,000 feet now. This is a booming early morning thermal. This is perfect. Yeah, you just set the bank angle and lock in here. And now I'm showing a 20-knot tailwind, so we got some stronger wind picking up. So I'm just going to drift. I'll probably just drift right over the start line. Continue to climb. 3,500. Yeah, that is a ridiculous thermal. I'll take it. 4,000 feet. And there's somebody else there flying down further south in the distance. This area is remote in real life and remote in the sim. You don't get too many people flying down here. And there's somebody further to the north. So that's cool to see. I've remarked on that in the past, that's a shame there's not more people flying down here, because it's absolutely gorgeous. This lake is magnificent. And it's super cool to be climbing out over it. 20 knots, tailwind. Might get away with bigger circles and less bank. Yeah, you might be right. But kind of like, if I am flying pretty fast here too. But as long as I'm climbing, full 360 degrees, I don't really want to mess with it. It's like, you got a good thing, don't screw it up. Because I will screw it up at some point anyways. So... Yeah, I don't want to get greedy, dude. Climbing a steady 13.7 knots. No need to get greedy right here. And this is a thermal, 6,000 feet. Just listen to the Vario sing. Let's get it, Leo. All right, brother. Sounds like the Vario is stuck. Yeah, climbing 1,600 feet a minute at 8 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, what a treat. That's probably not very realistic, guys, but you know what? We'll go with it. Somebody just put their shadow over me. Or was that a cloud? Get to 30,000 feet and just glide to the finish. That honestly would be a successful day, because this is attempting the sort of first leg of the world record flight. And so yeah, I mean, if you can spend a half an hour climbing to 30,000, then yeah, you can just set the speed, dial the trim to like 110 knots or something like that, and just showing a 23 knot tailwind now as I climb through 9,000 feet. Still just sitting here at the bank angle. A beautiful climb out over this massive lake here, which I should learn the name of this lake. But the town is El Calafate, which I'm probably not pronouncing right, but Calafate, something like that. 9,700 feet now. What's up, Doug Co? Good to see you, man. Hope you had a good Merry Christmas. Does doing this give you the Jones to strap back on your hang glider and run off a mountain again? No, not at all, actually, Doug. 10,300 feet. Did I do a super European thing there? Does what up basically mean hi and you're not... yeah, I think what up pretty much usually means hi. And we're getting high here, 11,000 feet, coming on up through the clouds. And Doug, I'm totally into elaborating more on what I mean by that when I say I don't have interest in... This doesn't make me want to fly in real life anymore. But I... Just enjoying this beeping here, this therapeutic beeping. Climbing through 11,500 feet. Got Leo the Lion there below me. I think he'll probably be in the same thermal very soon if he's not already in it. And yeah, I'm pretty much just going to drift across the start line here while climbing, which is perfectly fine. I made this really big, long start line, so you're not really limited too much with where we climb. 12,500 feet. Yeah, I think this one's going to go up at least to the top of that cloud there, Bumble. Oh, and that's the lightest it's been in a couple of minutes. I just flew out of the strong part of the lift is all that happened. You only need 2K feet more for final glide. I don't know. Is that what it... I didn't look. Oh yeah, look at... Well, this is not going to be a very exciting, interesting task here, guys. But this will be good. Some good knowledge here. Some good information. Yeah, I didn't even look at that. $13,800 feet. Leo beneath me there, he's climbing. I'll linger a bit, Leo, and wait for you to climb. I'm gonna keep climbing until I can see well, until it stops, or if I see the Finnish AGL altitude go, plus 2,000 or 3,000 feet or so. But I'll just wait. I'll just wait for you so we can kind of start together. The lift does seem to be kind of getting either lighter or it's just getting blown apart a little bit up here. But it's still really smooth, the air overall. $14,000 feet. What's the rated glide ratio of this sailplane? I don't know, Doug. That's something that it looks like manufacturers are reluctant to post to the specs on their airplanes. And depending on who you talk to, you get a different answer. But I think you can say somewhere around 40-1. Which is totally insane if you're used to a hang glider getting, 10, 11, 12-1. And not just 40-1, like at Best Glide, you can go, probably like 36 or 35-1 while going 100 miles an hour. And I've got this thing loaded up with ballast today too, so how much ballast? I think I'm carrying 500 pounds. Not that one. Come on. Somebody make a mod where this works. Ballast. Total 458 pounds of ballast today. Discus 2C seems to be 45 to 47 to 1. Where do you get that number from, Bumble? Is that just kind of word of mouth, or you see that figure posted somewhere? As I climb through 16,000 feet. We've got some very cool lighting coming through here because of the early low sun angle early in the morning here. You saw it on the soaring Discord. Got it. All right, well, that calls for some background synthwave music. Leo's passing through 10,000. Oh, you're doing great then. I think you're right below me. Yeah, you are. Now I'm just hands off. I'm just going to kind of just let it fly while I sort of wait for Leo, because and Bumble, I think there's another math bug on the computer here where, I mean, it's showing task fin minus 8,000, but we know it's like plus 2,000 right now. So there, yeah, see, it kind of like flashes. I'm not sure quite what's happening there. Yeah, I'm at like plus 3,700. Man, I got a 30 knot tailwind. Let's go. Yeah, a few thousand feet, yeah. Somebody, I think XC Ken in the Discord told me that with this weather preset, he was able to, and later in the day, he was able to climb to something like 40,000 feet or something crazy like that. And the fact that I'm at 18,000 and still getting 11 or 12 knot lift makes me think that that might be possible. And I passed through 19,000 feet. I see Leo looks like he's at 13. Oh, McCready. Oh, you know, I have it on auto McCready. Yeah, it said McCready 5.8. Let me turn auto McCready off, actually. That damn McCready guy. Where's my settings page? Oh, close. Aircraft settings. Nope. Interface options. Auto McCready. Off. Yeah, that's it. So if I put the McCready at 0. Yeah, there we go. That's it. Got it. Yeah, that makes sense. It's bouncing all over the place because the McCready setting is going to change with the strength of the lift. So I see Leo right there. I'm just kind of skidding along the side of the start here. I'm just gonna continue to kind of loiter. 19,800 feet. So I guess we can do the math. If we want 1,400 miles, and how much time do we have? So we start at 8 a.m. How many hours is that until 8 p.m.? What's that? 12 hours, right? Right? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 9, 10, 11, 12. No, that would be 10 hours. Wait, 8. That's 4. No, 12 hours. Yeah. I don't do math in my head. 12 hours. So if we want 1,400 miles in 12 hours, we need to average 116 miles per hour ground speed. And so we're going to lose that. You're going to lose time when climbing. So maybe we could say gliding ground speed to be 130 miles per hour or 130 knots. So I'll set the McCready speed to fly to be 100 knots because we'll have a 30 knot tailwind at least up at altitude. Yeah, 30 knot tailwind here. So I'm going to dial this up until the speed to fly is 100, which is playing it a little bit conservative. And yeah, so now, oops, one more. There we go. Yeah, so it's still telling me I got it with 1,700 feet. I'm at 20,000 feet here. Just waiting for Leo to climb up to me. Where'd he go? There he is. He's getting here. Look at him, 17 over there. What a cool sight that is, man. Beautiful, beautiful. Thanks for joining in today, guys. Having some fun here, flying the Discus 2C again. And I'm waiting, just kind of loitering here, waiting for Leo to climb up to me. We'll start this task together. But I pretty much have the whole thing on glide right now from this altitude. So let's show you what we're doing here. 175 miles, just straight north. Down here in the South Andes in Argentina. And this will be kind of the first leg of the world record free distance flight attempt. So this is kind of a training flight, I guess we're calling it. Bug on my windshield. So today we just want to learn the terrain down here in the southern part of the Andes, and then also just make sure we can actually soar, we can actually climb early in the morning. We took off at 8 o'clock. And, well, I'm at 21,000 feet, so that's a yes. And I might have, yeah, maybe just kind of ridiculous, too much, might be a little bit too easy. Yeah, not very realistic, but we can actually do in the sim the exact style of flying that they did, I think that they do for all the world record glider flights these days, and that is they fly in wave lift. And we don't have wave lift in the sim, at least as far as I know. That's a whole nother weather phenomenon, which is super neat. And it would be very cool to be able to do that in the sim. It would make for some very interesting dynamic flying and a new skill for me to learn. I got Leo down there, 18,400. I'm just going to kind of keep him in sight. And he'll either climb to me or I'll descend to him, and then we'll start the task together. And I don't think it's showing the right airplane model. No, it isn't. I definitely have the DG808 installed. Shows him in... Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. I was doing it the other day, too. We weren't seeing the right model. I see Leo at 19,000 feet now, so he's just a couple thousand feet below me. Gorgeous scenery here. I love this big lake. Really magnificent. And it is so remote here. Leo not being in the glider model is going to screw up the screenshots. Oh, these are awesome sights though. Look at the lighting here on the clouds. Alright, Leo, I show you at 20,100. 20,200. Now I'm starting to get some of the beeps that I think you're in. Alright, I'm gonna finish this 360 here, Leo, and then I'm gonna just start heading north across the start line. $20,700 feet. I've got the flight computer saying fly 102, and I'll arrive there with 2,000 AGL. Try to dial that right to 100. There we go. So now I can put the nose down and accelerate. I got a 30 knot tailwind, so I should track 130 miles per hour ground speed. Alright, Leo, I'm starting, so I'm going to trim it out at 100 knots. And if there's lift like that, then we can go even faster. So Bumble, we had a good flight the other day when we flew, two good flights. We flew sort of that middle section of the Andes. We flew through the section where you and I landed on that first world record flight attempt. And it turned out that was some really tricky terrain to cross. And so we failed to cross it. I don't know if you saw that or not, and had to go land. And that was the first time I've ever failed to complete a task that I've set up here in the sim, or flown somebody else's tasks. But from that failure, we can learn to plot a course around these tall mountains. Yeah. You got a livery on. That's why I don't pop up as one of those planes. Did you install like a custom livery for that airplane? Because, I mean, I installed that airplane, which comes with a bunch of liveries, so... And I'm not quite getting the airspeed I need. I want to be doing 100 knots. So this might be like basically a 1 hour final glide right from start. Our boy Rainy Diamond 290 is still sitting there at the airport. I think he's flying an airliner, so he's probably got 16 hours of checklists to do before he can go fly. Very smooth air here between thermals. That's nice. Pretty much hands off. So Leo, I think that DG808 has a heading hold mode. I don't know if you know that or not. That would be really handy for a flight like this. Oh, you can deactivate the sinking tone on the AS-33. Ah, if only they had a cool psychedelic livery, then I would switch for sure. Although, actually, I think with that model, they did include a tool for making custom liveries, so maybe I'll just play with that. Oh, you did download a livery pack, right? Got it. Yeah, that's an upgrade that Flight Simulator really needs, is the ability to select. Honestly, like just like in the sim right now, like either like you'll be able to select the default airplane. So if you don't have that model installed and somebody else is flying, so you can put them in something that's, or you can do it on the fly. Like I should be able to just like click on his name. And then select an aircraft for him, right? That's a quality of life upgrade we need. Interesting, Bumble. Yeah. I kind of don't want to try to have to learn a whole new instrument, And from what I've seen in screenshots, maybe it's because of graphic settings that people have or something, but the cockpit looks not very nicely detailed. And I know it's just it's like an open source community project or something, but it didn't look like a very, very intricate detail. This has a lot of nice detail in here, and good effects in this cockpit, which is what you would expect from Got Friends. So yeah, I'll have to check it out one of these days. I know it's a popular model for sure, and I know like the development of this flight computer at least originated with that model, according to the the README file, right? So. Oh, you are? Okay, got it. Oh, I like that little arrow on the map for lift, sink, and the discus. Oh, probably aircraft or interface options. No, maybe not. Oh, the wind indicator. Oh, maybe the wind indicator also does that. Wicked lift right here. Interface options, wind indicator. Yeah. So, yeah, I turned that off because I didn't want this big line in here because there's already kind of a lot going on where there's 3 or 4 other lines, the heading lines, right? And, like, I don't need that because I got it over here. So... yeah, if this beeped at me instead of this, then, oh, the big line is pretty useful in flying ridges. Sure, I can see that if you're looking at the ridge on the map. Yeah, I can see that. Alright, where's Leo at here? Probably above me. Oh, where'd he go? Is he hiding behind that cloud? Look at these lakes. I love this, like, turquoise blue. Very cool looking. Down here in Argentina. Alright, well, let's, yeah, if you guys are just joining, let me show you the task that we have today. 175 miles. Down here in the southern bit of Argentina. And we're just flying a straight line to the north. Just trying out the first leg of this world record distance attempt. Right on top of me. Oh, there you are. You're off on my right. Cool. Yeah, I'm playing with the instruments, which means I drift off of the heading. 17,800 feet. Basically, I took off, towed up, got off a glide, got off a tow, off of the winch tow, and you can see my progress. Towed up, went over to this thermal. Look at these perfect circles. And then they got bigger because they got to about this altitude, and then the wind direction changed. They got bigger and bigger and bigger, and then I kind of loitered around here before the start line, waiting for Leo to catch up. He loaded in a little bit later, and now we're just flying north here. I've got the airspeed set at 98. I like to a little bit more downtrim. I like to speed up. Trying to fly 100. And I've got 28 knot tailwind, so that'll be 128 knot ground speed. And it shows me finishing plus 2,700 feet. So I think maybe we'll just, this would be a pretty lame stream because one thermal and then go for an hour. So maybe we'll get there and then see what the day's looking like, and then maybe just keep flying a little bit farther, see how much farther north we can get. But this bodes very well for the world record attempt. So let's see. Let me do the math again here. We need to cover 1,400 miles, and we have 12 hours to do it in, right? Yep, 12 hours. About 12 hours. So we need to average 117 miles per hour. That's ground speed. So I've got a 27 knot tailwind, and my airspeed is 98, a little bit slow. So get the airspeed to 100. My ground speed is 126, which is faster than the 116 needed, 117 needed. So, which means it might work, but how much time are we going to spend thermaling, right? Well, if the thermals are big and strong like that first one we had, and you'll drift with the thermal, so they're not going 0 speed, then 116 miles per hour is 100 knots. Oh, good. Thanks to the conversion. Yeah, because 100 miles per hour and knots is like the lamest units, because they're both like arbitrary kind of units, but then they're close enough to each other that I just kind of think of them as the same. So right, so we really only need to average 100 knots ground speed. So if we can do 120 to 130 ground speed between thermals, then we should be in pretty good shape, right? Plus, I mean, we flew almost 1,100 miles with 2 fewer hours, and I don't think I was definitely not gliding 100 airspeed. So 100 knots airspeed. Now I'm trimming up a little bit fast here. So Bubble, I'm pretty sure all these records in real life were done in wave lift and not thermal lift. And I can show you a picture. I don't know if you're familiar with this stuff or not. So here's a satellite photo. No, not ridge lift, wave lift. There's not really any ridges down here. Your picture from Vegas was nice. Oh yeah, there happen to be some wave clouds down there. So here's down where we. This is actually a little bit north of where we are, but this is the type of weather conditions. So I'm pretty sure you have a west wind coming from the Pacific Ocean, going that way across this image. Yeah, wave lift, right. And so each one of these clouds is a wave. So it's just wave after wave after wave. And so it's an interesting mix-up, right, Bumble? Because you fly the wave lift basically just like a ridge lift. It's just like there's an invisible ridge in the air. So you can just fly, I mean, basically look all the way from here to here, like without turning, probably flying 100 knots or something like that. So the trick is, I'm pretty sure they either get someone to tow them into the wave or they have a motor. They have a motor glider to motor up. So they have to motor up to get to, I don't know, whatever, 15, 16, 17,000 feet or more. And then they get in the wave and then they shut the motor off and then just surf in the wave. I think that's what's going on. It's hard to find detailed info on this stuff. It's tricky. Yeah, the guy Klaus Ullmann, the German pilot, is the guy who has all these records. So that article has some interesting information on it. Leo's behind me there. He's at 16,000 feet. So where am I at here? 15,000. So one thing I should probably look. Well, my arrival altitude is kind of not improved here. It's good. And I don't know if there's any sort of big mountains that we have to get across. I think we're kind of just in this, and there's some rising, lowering terrain. But maybe it does get a little bit higher here. Let's see. One of these has a better. Yeah, this could be some pretty high terrain in here, so we might need to slow down for a climb here at some point. And also, I kind of keep getting distracted by looking at things, and my airspeed goes up, it goes down, and so I'm kind of not really flying very efficiently. And my heading is kind of all over the place. I went and got the wood, the lumber for my desk project this afternoon. So tomorrow I'll start on that. It won't look really much different to you guys, but it'll make the sim a lot better for me and the stream. So what I'm gonna do is basically gonna cut a trapezoidal notch out of the desk, which is kind of what this taped off. See the yellow tape here. Little notch that I can remove, and that'll allow me to get the flight yoke like 7 inches closer. And that's just a better viewing distance for my monitors, and that'll also help me read somewhat smaller text on the screen. There's a German documentary on YouTube about that flight. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I didn't spend a whole lot of time looking for videos on Mr. Ullman. Am I pronouncing his name right? Klaus Ullman. But I did see a few videos. He speaks fluent English, so yeah, there's probably videos of him explaining things that I could understand. And if not, we've got a German translator here, so that's handy dandy. 14,000 feet and doing 100 knots. Airspeed 101, 102. A little fast. Very smooth air in between thermals. And we are boogieing along here. Leo's above and behind me. So I got my wood from my desk project. I'm gonna start that tomorrow. Probably take me a couple days to get it finished. I don't really know because, well, my woodworking skills are not great. So we'll see. But one of the keys is I need this trapezoidal notch that I can remove so I can put the flight yoke here and get closer to the screen. But then I need to be able to reinstall it because I need to be able to use my computer as a regular computer. So I can't have this hole cut out in the desk. So I'm gonna make like a shelf kind of thing, like a keyboard tray almost that slides in there. That's the idea anyways. But I'm excited about that because any more level of immersion I can get in the sim would be really nice, because it's already really amazing, but I want to make it even better. So that's phase 1 of the project, is the desk. And then phase 2 is the expensive part. That's upgrading my basically my whole graphics. I want to get 2 new side monitors. Right now I got my side monitors mounted vertical, and that's really for productivity reasons. I'm not streaming the side monitors, you guys can't see that, but I do have extra space on the sides. You can see my setup down below on the Twitch page. But I'm not really doing the productivity stuff anymore. I'm mostly just doing the streaming stuff. So I really want to rotate those monitors on the sides and then just have a lot more field of view. And in doing so, I actually need to get 2 different monitors, so they'll match my main monitor. And then, that's going to require a lot of graphics horsepower. So that means I need the 4090. But not only are those crazy expensive, they're sold out everywhere and you can't get them. So that's probably a good thing, so I can save some money. And then hopefully they will be available. But also, in order to do the 4090, I'm going to need a power supply upgrade. So, you know, we're dumping money into the flight simming because it's awesome. Oh, there's a cat. Hey, cat. And now this is kind of interesting here. We're flying out sort of in the flat, the foothills of these mountains, rather than over the high terrain, which is a strategic decision on my part. I'm thinking we don't need to be over there. Normally, you'd want to be up over the mountains, the higher terrain, where you'd have more lift. But I'm kind of counting on not needing to do that. We'll take a more direct route to the north. Part of that is because of the tricky terrain that's to cross later on in the flight, around the 1,000 mile mark. We don't want to get trapped in there late in the day. I'm kind of drifting off the heading here. Down to 12,000 feet. And it's showing my arrival altitude. This number keeps getting a little bit worse and a little bit worse. Probably just because I'm not flying very well. I can blame you guys for distracting me. Totally kidding. Feel free to distract me. I'm gonna go ahead and let myself drift off the heading because these clouds are looking nice right here. Smooth flight, yeah, Leo. Yeah, it's nice early in the morning. What time we got in the sim here? Let's see. Showing 25 minutes into the flight. Sim time 9 o'clock, 9:04. 25 minutes into the start. So yeah, we spent about a half an hour climbing at the beginning there. Leo at 14,000. He's got a couple thousand feet on me. So I'm gonna head for these clouds. maybe not climbing them. I may just porpoise fly. I may just slow down. Come on, cloud suck. Tailwind slowed down now here, only showing 17, 18 knots. Leo, how does your clouds look? Do they look pretty much like mine? Do you see me heading right for this big dark cloud here? Pretty lined up. Good. Awesome. And I'm going to just go right up underneath it here. I'm thinking I'm just going to get this cloud suck. As I get closer, I'll pull the nose up, which means I'll convert a little bit of speed to altitude. And then hopefully there'll be some more altitude just from lifting the cloud. Let's pause the music and just listen in here. Let's listen in. Let's listen in to the sound of the lift. Yep. There was a beep. Bringing the nose down, slowing down. 11,400 feet. Sure enough, there's some beeping. Not very strong yet. I'm thinking I don't want to turn in this. I don't want to spend time doing that. Unless it's really strong. It's not very strong. I mean, I was seeing 10 or 12 knots earlier, right? So I really don't want to spend time circling anything less than that unless I really have to. Yeah, not very strong lift there. But a lot of beeping. There might be a stronger core in there if I spent some time circling. I could maybe find it. 12,000 feet. So I climbed a little bit. About 60 knot airspeed and 18 knot tailwind. So I basically climbed, I'm at 2,200 feet. So I climbed like 400 feet while flying 80 miles an hour ground speed. So that's pretty good. And now as I leave that lift, I'll just let the nose come back down and speed back up. A little bit more cloud here. We'll see if we get something. Just fly right next to this guy. What's up, Pancake King? What are you up to, my man? How did your Christmas streams go? Or how did your Christmas go? Merry Christmas, by the way. Alright, we're pushing on. I don't think I have the shout out command set up, but the shout out for Pancake King. He's been doing some sim flying. He's been flying around Japan, which is cool to see. Area that he knows, that he's lived there for some time. Yeah. Flight's going good so far. Let me get the airspeed dialed back up here, and I'll fill you in on what we're doing today. Yeah. I'm doing only 90. I need 10 more knots here. Speed up. Speed up. 11,500 feet. Just gotta get the trim dialed in here. Pretty good. All right, I'll show you what we're up to today. Let me bring up the task. We're down in the Andes again, down here in southern Argentina. This time we're practicing the first leg of the world record distance flight. Just a straight line from El Calafate up here to Hipólito. Does it say Hipólito? Oh, that's my friend Nora's last name, who is from Argentina. Well, Nora, this one's for you. Nora Hipólito. So, Pancake King, yeah, we took off, and one of the things we wanted to try today was seeing how early in the morning the lift would start in the sim. The previous time I did this, I started at 10 a.m. But we ran out of daylight was the biggest problem later on in the day. So we need to start earlier if we can. So we started this one at 8 a.m. And yep, climbed right away to like 22,000 feet. Crazy high in a big, beautiful thermal. And yeah, now we've just been going on a glide ever since, and should have this entire this entire flight just in one thermal, one climb, and then just be able to glide this entire way. So that'll be kind of not very interesting to watch, but it's good practice and good knowledge for us. So they started shortly after sunset. Did you mean sunrise, Bumble, as far as the thermals go? Shortly after sunrise? Does it take a while to get rolling? Do you mean like to climb? Yeah, sunrise. Do you mean like pancaking? Do you mean like does it take a while to like get up in the air and start gliding? And do you ever have to worry about ice? Yeah, you would. And I do have a pitot heater right here. And yeah, if you went up into some of these, yeah, in real life, you would not want to go into these dark clouds because, yeah, you could have ice, ice issues, and you could have, yeah, water, ice, and stuff. Yeah, thermals, does it take a while to build up? Yeah. So in real life, pretty much common knowledge and my personal experience, you're not going to find strong enough thermals that you can actually climb in before really 11 or 12 a.m. It probably depends a lot on local conditions, the actual local weather, but that's typically the case because it takes a while for the sun. Thermals are basically solar powered, so sun comes out, it takes a while for the ground to actually heat up, right? And another piece of evidence of that is you don't see soaring birds out typically before 10 or 11 a.m. So if the birds can't soar, humans can't soar. But the sim seems to not really care about that. So in that case, in that essence, we're kind of cheating. Because in real life, you would not be able to climb to 20,000 feet at 8 a.m. However, these world record flights were not done using thermal lift, at least mostly not done using thermal lift. It was done using wave lift, which we don't really have simulated in the game. So instead of wave lift, we have somewhat unrealistic thermal lift. You probably also wouldn't see these types of cumulus clouds this early in the morning either, because these cumulus clouds are a result of thermals. That warm air rises and the moisture condenses and forms these type of cumulus clouds. So I figured the sim would sort of switch them on at a certain time. Yeah, I kind of figured that too. I think it's because it's kind of hard to say. Because they kind of, at least the cloud thermals kind of work in the sim, like, they don't quite work. So in real life, a cloud exists because there's a thermal there. At least these types of clouds, cumulus clouds like this, exist because there is or there was a thermal there. That warm air rises, gets to a certain altitude where it cools, and the moisture condenses and forms a cloud, right? However, in the sim, it seems to be like the opposite logic. So if you go into your weather settings and you go to your clouds and you change this coverage, then you will or will not have thermals. So it seems like the sim goes, oh, there's a cloud there, so there should be a thermal here. So basically what I'm getting at is, in the morning, if you make clouds like this, then there will be thermals there. Versus in real life, you probably wouldn't even have clouds like this early in the morning. You wouldn't see these types of clouds starting to pop until 10 or 11 in the morning. So now one thing the sim definitely does do that we've experienced is it definitely gradually shuts the thermals off as the sun is setting later in the day. So as the sun starts to go down, right now it's over here, but as the sun starts to go down, there's less solar heating and thus less thermal energy. So so you're kind of racing against the sun. And I'm down to 9,000 feet, 9,200 feet. And I don't really want to veer off my heading, but there's a big cloud right here, and I think I would like to get a climb in. Even though I should still be able to. Yeah, I got some high terrain coming up here. I'm gonna need to climb. But before I do that, I'm gonna go for a restroom break. I'm gonna go drop some ballast. Give Leo a chance to catch up to me and pass me. Alright, I'm gonna go drop some ballast, so I'll be back in a couple minutes, guys. Wow, good timing. You guys showed up on the raid just as I finished dropping off some ballast. Let's get back into flight. Sparky Pilot, thanks so much. How's the X-Plane treating you? Well, Sparky just playing around with X-Plane. We're flying gliders, and thank you for the raid, Sparky Pilot, and thank you for the follow, Kurt Deezy. What's up, guys? Thanks for coming in. X-Plane is X-Pain. X-Plane is X-Pain. I feel you. You love the flight physics, though. Yeah. That seems to be the consensus, is that if you're looking for a realistic, that sort of more one-to-one sim physics experience, then X-Plane is a better go-to for that. There's a soaring, a glider specific simulator called Condor. I think it's version 2 now. They're on the Condor 2 that people have suggested to me, like, oh, you should try Condor. And I gotta tell you, no. I'm not interested in that at all. Maybe it's a more realistic model, and it has like proper multiplayer racing and glider soaring and stuff, and probably better actual thermal physics and things like that. But the graphics, the visual immersion is just so dated. It's honestly, by today's standards, and especially because Microsoft Flight Simulator exists, it's like embarrassing. It's like I would never spend any time in that. And thank you for the follow, Steven. 9975. That's pretty strong lift. Let's see if I should turn in that. Let me climb in this thermal here, guys. Yeah, there we go. I'm seeing 10, 11, 12 knots. Let me gain some altitude in this thermal, you guys, and then I'll show you what we're up to today. Oh, this is another nice one. Here we go. This is what you like. Leo, I hope you're climbing above me in this thermal. So we're down here in the southern, kind of the southern end of Argentina again today, in the Andes Mountains. Well, sort of, kind of the east foothills of the Andes. I had some strong lift and I flew out of the backside of it there. I just need to get established in this thermal. Kurt Deezy, X-Plane is amazing. The physics are way better, but the scenery is better in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Yeah, so, I mean, right tool for the job, right? So, I mean, if you're like a IRL pilot, like Sparky Pilot, or you're, practicing procedures and need all the buttons to work right, and, like the airliner guys or whatever, then okay, maybe then you need a tool that's more like X-Plane. In which case the visuals aren't that important because you're worried about the numbers and the instruments and stuff. But that's not what I'm here for. So if that's what you're for and it works for you, then get it, And I'm glad that exists. But I'm here for this. Like, look at how magically phenomenal this looks. Which is what, this gets at like the core of what aviation is about, right? It's about actually flying, about, being in a different world, being up above everything and getting this elevated perspective. So that's the enjoyment that I get out of flying, and that's here in the sim. You enjoy both equally. Great. Awesome. How's the new version working out for you? Because they just came out with version 12, right? Of X-Plane. And I'm doing a terrible job finding this thermal, Leo, and you're not too much higher than me, so I'm guessing you're not doing too great either. I just flew too far downwind out of it. Let's go back into the headwind and we'll find it. There we go. Alright. 13 knots. We just need to stay a little bit tighter bank angle to stay in this here. Climbing right up under this cloud. We might dip in and out of the white room here a little bit. Version 12 has been good. Got it. Well, what are you flying, Kurt? Are you flying single engine airplanes, GA stuff? Or are you flying like one of the airliner guys? You flying the airliners? There we go. Here we're now we're climbing, Leo. 11,300 feet. On their way back, they must have had about 35 knots tailwind, south to north and back south. Which flight are you referring to, Bumble? Was that the article that I shared? Citation X and Challenger 650. Those are like little passenger jets, right? Like little two-engine passenger jets. I don't know my civilian aircraft that well. Oh, come on. Get back in that lift. Where's that strong lift? Private jets. Yeah, that's what I thought. Well, Citation, I know. It's Cessna Citation, yeah. But I don't know the Challenger. That's... Oh, yeah, okay. So, yeah, Bumble. So, yeah, 3,000 kilometers. Well, for Bumble and everybody else. No, Kurt, I'm a glider guy. Get the jets out of here. I don't know motors for me. I don't do motors. So the world record flight Bumble just posted the world record total distance, like total distance covered in a flight in a glider, is 3,008 kilometers, and that's down here in the Andes. So they flew back and forth. So they probably flew like 1,500 or 1,000 kilometer legs, right, Bumble? Insane. 3,000 kilometers. So we're trying to recreate, not that flight, we're trying to recreate what we would call the free distance record, which I think is a more interesting record. That's point A to point B. How far can you go? Take off here, fly downwind, land, draw a straight line. That's how far you flew. So that record is 1,400 miles. So however many that is in kilometers, like 2,400 kilometers or something like that. So still totally insane to be able to do that amount of distance. So we're trying to recreate that flight in the sim. And we can't really do it because, well, we're just talking about Microsoft Flight Simulators, flight physics not being that accurate, so the weather physics aren't quite there. We don't have wave lift. They did that in wave lift, but we can get pretty good still. So we're trying to more like half the way to the north and then less the same back. Yeah, got it. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, so we're trying to recreate that free distance flight, 1,400 miles. Not today, because I don't want to be up all night. But this is kind of a practice or a training flight for that. And we're doing a poor job of climbing here. Interesting that this is a bit different than it was earlier. So tonight we're just practicing sort of the first leg of this flight. We're flying 175 miles. Leo's doing a lot better than me. He's up there at 15,000. I'm gonna change my turn direction here. See if maybe I can kind of sync up with him. There we go. That's nicer here. I was just too far downwind of that thermal. It's at 15,000. So the flight computer right now tells me I don't need any more altitude to get to where we're going. But the flight computer doesn't take into account rising terrain between here and there. So if it was totally flat, yeah, we might be able to glide there, but I'm thinking that we have to get up and over some mountains here, so. And since we're not really racing, we're not really too concerned with getting a efficient time yet. We're kind of mostly just learning the terrain and how high we need to be at certain places. But when we do go do the actual attempt at the world record flight, we sort of will be racing, but we'll be racing against the sun. Because once the sun goes down, or once the sun starts to go down, then we start to lose the lift. Lift goes away. So we've established on this flight that we can get up at 8 o'clock in the morning, which is not very realistic in real life. Kind of exploiting the God mode with the weather. Oh, and then I flew out of that thermal. 15,000 feet though, pretty good. 14.9. Leo's still higher than me. So if we get up at 8 o'clock, if we start at 8 o'clock in the morning, that gives us 12 hours, basically. Sun sets at 8. And me and Bumble were able to fly right until about 8:30, I think, maybe a little bit later than that. The first time we tried doing this. But we started at 10, started later in the morning that time. So we can get 2 extra hours of daylight. But then it's going to be kind of key to fly efficiently and quickly between thermals. And what we're doing right now is, the lift that I'm in now has been not very consistent. I've been not doing a very good job of staying in the consistent lift and kind of going in and out of it. Part of that is your guys' fault for distracting me. But that's okay, because it's more fun to hang out and, you know, chat about it than just to do it. So, and Leo's up there 17,000. He's doing great. I'm gonna go, let me see if I can get in underneath him and see if there's lift there. So I'm just gonna keep flying straight. Actually, this is where it is right here. 13 knots. 14. Yeah. Yeah, so one of the keys in trying to fly really long distances when you're limited by daylight is to make sure you're only spending time climbing in strong lift. So, you know, I'm showing 10, 11 knots on the averager vertical speed in this lift. And the other stuff I was in over there was like 5 or 6 and kind of in and out. So I wasn't climbing very fast. So if you can avoid climbing in weak lift, then do it. Find the strong lift. I want to climb as quickly as possible to get right back on glide. Because when I'm climbing, I'm not moving very fast. I'm drifting with a 27 knot tailwind, so that's helpful. But when I'm on glide, I'm going to be gliding at 100 knots. So my ground speed will be 100, 126, 130. Leo's up at 18. Leo, I think I'm going to take this thermal to 18 and then push on. Yeah, I keep falling out of the thermal on the downwind side of it. It's like rolling up right next to this cloud here. So there's 18,000. All right, I'm gonna switch to back to my map screen and head to the north. And I have only 48 miles to go, and it's telling me my arrival altitude will be 11,000 feet, 11,900 feet, which is crazy high. Let me show you guys the task. Down here in Argentina, way south here in Argentina, just flying a straight line from this little town of El Calafate to Hipólito. Straight line task, just trying to see how well we can do out over this somewhat lower terrain, rather than being off on my left. There's higher mountains where typically that's where you're going to go to find a better lift, a stronger lift. But that kind of makes us go in somewhat a less efficient course line. So we're trying to stay kind of out over this flatter area, lower terrain. But it looks like coming up ahead, I do have some mountains some rising terrain. So having some more altitude here is probably a good thing. All right, got her trimmed out here, 102 knots. And yeah, there is some a little bit higher looking terrain here. Can't see what's on the other side of these clouds right yet. Some guy up here flying the Concorde. That would be cool to check out. Got Leo the Lion behind me. Just 39 miles to go till the goal. And we'll see what time it is and maybe just try to fly a little bit farther. Alright, how we doing here? 16,100 feet. Cruising along here, 100 knots, 101 knots. Airspeed, 24 knot. Tailwind. So that is boogieing. 33 miles out. Got some nice clouds along the way. I'll be able to just slow down and porpoise fly in there. A little bit off my heading. Leo's doing great up there. He's up at almost 18,000. Very remote terrain out here, guys. Yeah, you would be lost for quite a long time out here. Don't go down out here. So now as I go through these clouds here, I'm expecting to see some lift. I don't want to stop and spend time circling in it. So I'll just slow down, porpoise fly as we call it. I think the much more interesting flight path is off to my left over the mountains over there. Just cooler looking terrain, but I don't know, this is pretty neat. I love the river down there. That's pretty cool. Oh, no lift by that cloud. Oh, maybe a little bit. Here's a dark, nasty one right in front of me, though. So this one will probably produce a little bit something. Got some overall rising terrain here to get over. These are some cool lakes up over here. (14,600 feet as I approach this cloud. And I may just back off on the airspeed here. Maybe a little bit closer. Yeah. Just slow down. A little bit of lift there as I come into it. And I can see the finish line on my map now. Just 19.2 miles away. I don't think there's no more lift here. I'll speed right back up. And there's another big fat cloud right on the flight path. And you can see my finish line there. Yeah, so right by this lake that we're coming up to. So I think what I'll do, Leo, is just tag this finish line, and then I'll set another goal. So I downloaded the LX Nav mod, but noticed the other day you had the multiplayer connect so we could see each other on the map. Oh, do you mean, Leo, on the settings on how to connect to the multiplayer thing? It's a little weird to set up. I can show you. Oh yeah, okay. Check it out, Leo. So you go to the it's weird to get to. So couldn't find where to download it. You said you you said you did download the LX Nav mod. So did you not get the new version that has the multiplayer in it, or did you not get this map mod installed? Or this nav mod? Did you get it installed, or just not the version that has the multiplayer settings? Just could find where to download it. Yeah, I'm not sure where you're... Did you download it or not? That's what I'm not getting from your message. Sorry. Ah, cool. Thanks, Bumble. And just 10 miles here to cross this finish line. Yeah, let me show you. Let me show you though. Actually, let me see if this cloud's gonna give me some lift. As I'm about to tag this finish line, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna fly for another hour and just see how much farther I can get. And this thermal may drift me across the finish line, which will be fine. Leo up there at 16,000. I've definitely been flying out of the downwind side of the thermals today. That's actually the first one. Oh, you thought it was a mod on top of the nav mod. No, it's not a mod on top of the mod. It's just a newer version of the mod. So if you have the latest version or even actually the previous version, then it has that feature in there. So I'll show you. We should be able to set that up. It looks like you probably have already just crossed the finish line. I'm at 15,000 feet. Not as strong as the last thermal, but still pretty good. Where's the stronger part of it? Looks like Leo went and dove in and finished and then is coming back underneath me to the left. This is some very cool terrain down here too. Super interesting and detailed. See if I can get back to 18,000 feet. That's 16.9. We just totally came way out of the thermal. Let's go get in here a little bit closer with Leo. doesn't look like he's climbing there, so I'm not doing that. I'm staying back over here. Never mind. There he is below me, Leo the Lion. 17,400 feet. Let's see if I can get to 18,000. But I'm not doing a great job right at the moment. Alright, 17.5, that's good enough. Let's go ahead and finish the task. And then we're going to go, I'm just going to keep flying north a little bit here for a little while, guys. And Leo, once I cross the finish line, I'll show you the multiplayer setup feature. I got you right off on my right at 14.6. I should have finished the task and then come back for that climb, because then it would have told me the average speed. I mean, it'll still tell me the average speed, but it'll be kind of skewed because I took the time to climb in that thermal. I'm curious what I actually did average, or what I could have averaged over that section, or that segment. Almost across here, just 3 miles to go. And there's a tiny little town here. And there's some form of airstrip somewhere down there. Must just be a dirt airstrip. .8 miles, almost there. Come on, 16,100 feet. Wheels driving it hard over there. Task completed. Hour 20 minutes, so that's still pretty freaking fast. All right, Leo, let me if you're watching, and maybe you want to pause the sim, you can do this. If you go, you need to dial to the task page. You need to dial the computer to the task page where it shows your list of turn points. And then from there, you use the right dial to go down. And then you'll have, let me actually just restart it. Disconnect, yeah. So you'll see this, our RX419 multiplayer event engine. Hit connect. Sometimes it says like, it'll say like not available. So just like click it again. And then, so I'll add a new flight and I'll call it task like B. And I don't think it matters what the start time is, just new flight. And then you select it and now it's waiting for pilots to connect. So I'm in here. So if you do that, you should pop in here and we should see each other on the map. Hopefully you got that. Let me know if you didn't. And now in the meantime, I'm at 15,600 feet. Let's find an airport. Little nav map, something that we can get to. Let's try this one. SCBA, what is that? Sierra Charlie Bravo Alpha, right? Sierra Charlie Bravo Alpha. So we should be able to find that in the computer. You'll have to re-download the mod. Got it. They do have it for the DGA. Yeah. That's a separate one. Oh, maybe they don't have that feature. Maybe they didn't update it for that one. I'm not sure. Sorry. No, what was that airport? We're gonna try to go to Sierra Charlie Bravo Alpha. So we should be able to navigate that. May not be on this list yet. Sierra Charlie. I don't see it yet. Shoot. Sierra Charlie Charlie. Is that on there? Yeah. Sierra Charlie Charlie. 50 miles. I'm gonna navigate to that one. Yeah, okay. Should have that no problem. So that's telling me arrival altitude 8,000 feet. So let's go there. And only 25 minutes to get there. That's moving. Look at this wild terrain down here. Is this Mars? Yeah, Sierra Charlie Charlie, and then there's another big lake. Oh, this is actually in Chile. We'll keep pushing north here. 45 miles to this next airport. Show me arrival ETA 22 minutes. Got a 23 knot tailwind, altitude 14,400 feet. It says my arrival altitude is 8,000 feet, which is plenty high enough to get there. Kind of just seeing how much farther. Well, I know I could just keep going with this weather. Looks like Leo's headed down there to Entrada Baker Airport. Well, maybe not. He's at 11,000 feet. Show you guys the task just to remind you where we're at here. Down here in Argentina. The East Andes. South end here, practicing this first leg of a world record free distance flight attempt. 175 miles, already met and passed that. And was plenty high enough, so I'm going to head up to this next airport here, or next several airports. 42 miles up ahead. We're practicing flying a bit of a different route. A little bit different terrain, a little bit different weather settings, and so far has worked out quite well. Also practicing flying faster. Normally I'm not flying fast enough between thermals, but I got it dialed up to almost 100 knots here. 100 knot airspeed with a 23 knot tailwind means I'm tracking 123 over the ground. So that's moving pretty good. Coming up on some higher terrain here, these mountains. If I can see that on this map. Yeah, we're kind of headed up. Yeah, we got to cross these. Yeah, these mountains here. Yeah, on our way into this airport. I'm gonna have to thermal. The ground looks a little too close. Yeah, you're a bit low down there, 11,000. Yeah, we do have to cross some high terrain. Yeah, part of the reason for doing this is kind of learning the route, learning where the terrain is higher. 11,000 feet, it could be really high if, you're over sea level. But these are some big mountains here. And so... I'm at 13.6. I can't really see the terrain up ahead because there's clouds right here, but that's also good for finding some lift. I'm pretty sure I see, yeah, that's the lake there. So not too far away. I think I'm good, Leo. You might have to backtrack. There's a big cloud where I'm at. Well, that's behind you. You might have to turn around and... There is an airport behind you too. I'm pretty sure you can bail too if you had to. (13,300 feet, showing 17 minutes to reach the airport. Oh yeah, I'm good. Take a look at the map here. See what's on the other side of this lake. Some more ridges. 1,200 meters, 1,400 meters. And get up to the lake here and take a look at it. Showing just 14 minutes out now. There's probably that marker there. So it's showing me arrival AGL 8,075. But I want to get an idea as to how far it is across this lake, and then there's some rising terrain on the other side of it. So I want to see if it looks like it's an easy glide to the next airport, or if it looks like we need to climb there some more. How's Leo doing? Did he get up back there? Oh yeah, he's at 12,000. Right in that cloud, right where we thought. The air is starting to get a little bumpy here now too. Now the day is getting warmer, so the day's turning on a little bit more now. What time? Oh, it's still only 10 a.m. If you guys are new to the channel, just checking it out, there's a Discord server linked down below on Twitch, and the Discord server, we share all of the flight plans and weather presets you can download, and then info and announcements on how you can join up with us and fly in the game. So if you'd like to do that, we'd love to have you. It's a lot of fun flying, but it's always more fun when you have friends to fly with. So check that out. Leo's up here behind me. I'm at 11,100 feet. And you can find me in the game. Servers West USA, designed by Dave, is the gamer tag. Alright, so no problem getting to that airport from here. 120 miles out, arrival altitude still just about 8,000. Let's check out the next one. On the other side of here, that's going to be this guy right here. Sierra, that's Sierra Charlie Bravo Alpha. Let's see if I can get that in the computer now. Come on, scroll up thing. Sierra Charlie Bravo Alpha. There it is. Sierra Charlie Bravo Alpha. 58 miles north. And so it tells me there arrival altitude 2,200 feet. So the which is probably not high enough because there's definitely some rising terrain here. But there's clouds along the way. Let's see if we can get there. Wasn't the greatest thermal, but gained 2K. Interesting. Yeah, the last thermal that I was in wasn't the greatest one either. Like the better ones were earlier. So maybe I'll try to climb in one more thermal. And there's a nice big looking dark cloud here up on my left, slightly off to my left. I'm gonna go try to climb in that one. And I've got my airport now, Leo, set to Sierra Charlie Bravo Alpha. Another 55 miles from where I am. Some ETA 29 minutes and arrival altitude 2,300 feet. But there's some mountains up ahead here, kind of in the way. Let's see if we can see that on here. Yeah, other side of this lake. Yeah, there's kind of some mountains over here. So let's see what it takes to get over there. Still trying to fly right around 100 knots in between thermals. And the tailwind's only 16 knots now, but a little bit lower altitude, so that's kind of what I expect on the day for the weather that we set up. Little ways to go to get to this cloud still. 10,200 feet. So yeah, it definitely looks like from where I'm at here, I mean, I can glide to the other side of this lake, but I gotta get up over those mountains. So it definitely looks like I need some altitude here. So that's good to know. This is kind of a learning experience flight. We're learning the route that we want to take through here for when we do the world record attempt flight. That'll be coming up in January. January 2nd, I believe. We'll do that. There's the airport down here. Chile Chico. I think right on the other side of this river. I think that's the border, the Argentina Chile border here, this river. Oh, getting a little beeping from the Vario there. A good lift there. $9,500 feet. And I'm headed for this big dark cloud here. That's going to be where I want to climb in the thermal. 54.5 miles to the next airport, and now it is telling me that I do not have it on glide. Must have got some sync there. But there's a big cloud right here, so that'll be a good place to climb. Perfect, perfect timing, perfect spot. This is a big body of water here. Cool looking lake. So Leo only got 2K out of that last thermal. That's not super encouraging, but that cloud was kind of broken up. So this is like a perfect cloud we're looking for. Dark, flat bottom, big and fluffy. 9,200 feet. Yeah, starting to get a lot of sync now all of a sudden. A couple of airports we could go land down there if we had to. One in Argentina, one in Chile. All right, coming up on this cloud now, but before I get there, I'm gonna go ahead and go for a ballast drop break. Use the restroom. I'll be back in just a couple minutes, guys. All right, let's get back out of here. Let's go climb in this thermal and then let's hit this airport. 59 miles away. We'll get it. Where's Leo at? Is he still with me? Yep, there he is behind me. Showing him at 11,000 feet. I'm down to 8,500. This is the lowest I've been, I think, probably since we started. Oh, you know what? I'm on the wrong navigation. That's why it's navigating me to the turn point, not to the airport. Yeah, showing plus 800. What's up, Fidget Games? It's going great, brother. Thanks for stopping by. We're flying gliders again today. And the task I set out ended up being, well, pretty easy, but that's, not the goal of, wasn't really the goal of what we were doing. We're trying to learn the terrain, learn the area. And so there was lots of time left and lots of altitude, so now I'm extending the flight to get to where, yeah, a little bit of a tricky crossing here. We've got a big body of water. And then but I got in a mountain range up ahead here. But I got a big cloud to give me some lift. Let me show you the map where we're at. 175-mile task down in the South Andes. That's the one. Keep clicking on the wrong thing. So just straight north here, and so we went past the finish, and it's still in the air. And I'm going to try to head up to this next airport. We got a yoke and power setup for Christmas. Pretty stoked to start using it. Awesome. What do you mean by power setup? You got a flight yoke, but I don't know what you mean by power. So, but that's great. What yoke did you get? I'm going to slow down and come up on the trim here so I can get... So the computer tells me that I have the airport on glide at plus 1,500 feet when I arrive, but the computer doesn't know about these mountains right here, so it would be, well, I probably could, like if I went around, go around the terrain, but I want to try to get up and go over it. Oh, basic Logitech one. Oh, and throttle setup, yeah. Oh, that's what you mean by power. Yeah, right. I recently learned the term HOTAS, H-O-T-A-S, hands-on throttle and stick. So I'm pretty sure that's what you have. But that's great, yeah. That'll be good to have. Hopefully we'll get you in here flying with us. I'm at 7,900 feet. Let's see what I can do some climbing here. And doing a poor job of it. Yeah, I just learned that term recently myself too. Like I've seen it before. I'm like, what the hell does HOTAS mean? Like it's just one of these acronyms that everyone thinks you know. It just means a stick and a throttle. So, but yeah, I think those are kind of the basics and kind of the essentials to have a kind of a proper sort of flight simming experience is. Especially with power airplanes, you definitely need the throttle. I mean, of course, you need some way to control throttle, but without you really want like a nice like analog lever, right? So you can kind of feather the throttle when you're on landing and things like that. And I don't have to worry about throttle because I'm in the glider, but I do have the extra stick here that I use for the spoilers, which is very, very handy because I do the same thing. I kind of feather the spoilers to control the glide slope on landing. And Yeah, Leo, I somewhat of a troubling trend. That seems like the lift is getting worse as the day progresses here. Whereas early on we were getting super easy, like no-brainer climbs. And like almost twice as strong as what I'm seeing now. Yeah, now the lift is like broken up and not as strong. I'm just seeing 18 knot wind here. It's not too bad. Maybe I need to get in closer to this cloud. Well, 8,800 feet. Climbed a little bit. Well, Fidget Games, if you want to join us in the sim, the best thing to do would be to check out the Discord server linked below. Or I can actually just do... !Discord in the chat. That's the link to the Discord server. So feel free to join us in there. We share the flight task files and the weather presets so we can get synced up, as well as information, knowledge base, links to downloads, things like that to for all the mods and things we're using. The soaring and the glider flying in the simulator is pretty awesome, but it's missing some key aspects which we have. But luckily there's community mods, and there's that strong lift. Yeah, I just is not. I was just too far away from the cloud, so that's good to know. All right, 9,400. Sweet, glad to have you. And feel free to post any questions in there that you might have. At Fidget Games, thank you for the subscription, the Prime subscription. All right, thanks, brother. Appreciate that. Yeah, look forward to flying with you in here. And there's the lift. Ooh, that's the good one we were looking for. Good to know. All right, Leo, I'm in here locked at 13.5 knots of lift. I'm through 10,500 feet. Maybe I'll take this up to 12 or so. Let's see what the computer says actually. Get a little background tunes coming back on for you guys. That is the magic kind of lift we had earlier on. Just nice, easy climb. Averaging 13 knots, yeah. Coming back around. All right, there's 12,000 feet, so I'm going to just bail on this thermal. So I'm really just trying to get to this airport now, which is only 32 miles away. And it's showing my arrival altitude plus 6,900. I'm still getting lift as I fly through here, so I'll take it. Very cool views. I love these bodies of water down here. 12,600 feet I left that lift. All right, we're going to speed back up to 100 knots. Computer says arrival altitude 7,300. Which is plenty high. I think we'll fly into that airport and call it good for the night. Pretty much accomplished what we set out to accomplish. Mainly seeing that if it was actually be soarable at 8 o'clock in the morning in the sim. And it definitely was. And now I'm going through the cloud here. Yeah, I think the little dot here marker is probably my airport. And so I probably could have gone around these mountains to get in there, but I wanted to try to get high again. Yeah, just to make sure we can get over this terrain. But mostly we're practicing for another attempt at flying the world record free distance flight. It's going to be coming up on January 2nd, I believe. Is that right? Yeah, Monday, January 2nd. So that'll be an all-day stream. We'll probably start at 8 a.m. Pacific real-world time and 8 a.m. Sim game time. And that, if all goes to plan, that flight should take about 12 hours. And just did kind of the rough math on, you had 12 hours to fly and you needed to fly 1,400 miles. You need to average around 117 miles per hour. Which is, it's just moving, but I think it's definitely doable, especially with if you have a 20 to 30 knot tailwind. You know, that gives you a 20 or 30% speed right there. So if you can glide between thermals at 100 knots with a 20 to 30 knot tailwind, that's 120, 130 knots. And then it'll be slow when we climb in thermals, so in the last hour, maybe 2 hours of the flight will be quite a bit slower, probably. But yeah, what we learned today is very encouraging. Weather's been great for this one. Such a cool body of water down here. Fidget, if you're still watching, where are you watching from? Whereabouts are you from? It's always cool to know where people are joining in from. I did have a good Christmas, yeah. We had exceptionally good weather in SoCal, so I rode my bike down to the beach and back, and then I did some streaming, just a little bit of flying. That was a lot of fun. And then the last couple days we did a little Christmas Christmas Vegas trip with some buddies. Got to see some friends I haven't seen in a long time, and I lost some money, but you know, that's how it goes. From the Atlanta area. Got it. Cool, man. Got switched to the wrong page again. Just 20 miles out here. All right, let's take a look. Let's look at the map again here. See how far we've gone. 175 miles. So this is gonna be a little over 200 total, which is good. Yeah. So this weekend we'll probably fly. You can see my previous track log. So this is the southern part, and then these were a couple of different flights here for the northern part of the flight. So this weekend I think we should probably fill in the gap and fly through here. How's Leo doing? Gotta check in. Oh, he's back at 11,000 feet. He's doing good. Got a project for tomorrow to work on. I'm going to work on my new desk. Got kind of a plan for a complete overhaul of the sim setup here, which shouldn't really affect you guys watching, but for me it will make a much better, more immersive experience. I'll get closer to the screen, which is really what I really want, and be able to see more kind of surround. But I've got some work to do on the desk to customize it for flight control setup. But that'll be kind of fun. Good project. I'm off work for a couple weeks, so I've got plenty of time for projects and for streaming. Coming on into the airport here. Oh, and now I'll remember to dump my ballast. I wonder if it shows that dumping progress. Looks like it ticks down. Yeah, it takes forever to dump. Yeah, that's good to know too. Because for the real flight attempt, the real record flight attempt, we'll probably want to dump the ballast once the lift starts getting really light. And the ballast dumping animation, is it not even working? Yeah, and the LS8 or whatever that comes in the sim has it looks really good, the ballast dumping. You can see it here. I can't, sometimes I can see it, but I don't see it here now. I mean, it is like 500 pounds of water, so... And probably in real life, you would want to dump that pretty gradually. I don't think you'd want to just all of a sudden just... I'm at 9,000 feet, and I'm going to go bring it in here, land on here at this airport. Balmaceda. Maybe that's how you say it. Cloud's still looking nice. And we established that the lift is still good out here, so that's good to know. What's the sim time? Probably be close to 11 now. 10:50. Yep. Another really small looking town here. Yeah, there's not much there. Gosh, it's remote out here. If you want to live in some place with some remote living, this is it. That I can tell you. We'll go fly over the airport here, do some aerobatics. Pretty sure in real life, if you're going to do aerobatics, you'd want to make sure all the ballast was dumped before you did that. But we don't have to worry about real life. There's Bumble come racing in right over me, or sorry, Leo racing in over the top of me. Very cool. All right. Looks like kind of a happening little airport down there. Gonna land on runway 27. A bit of traffic on the road. Alright, let's get set up for the beat up landing here. 10 minutes to dump when full. Yeah, it sounds like about what's happening there, Bumble. I always seem to set up too high for this. I'm liking this setup though. A little high when I came in there. This is where having a stick would be way better. Put the gear down. I almost got all the ballast out. And we bring it right back around 180. Full spoilers. There's Leo doing the beat up landing. Wouldn't it make sense to put the spoiler on the throttle and use the brake lever for trim? Yeah, for like throttle trim. And normally would reverse the brake axis. Well, let's see. Oh, yeah, right, okay. Well, I need to put it on my left side, right? And then reverse the spoiler axis, right? Yeah, so that needs to be reversed. Yeah, trim. I've got, like, you can't see, I actually have a little dial right here, which would be perfect for trim. But dude, trying to figure out how to bind axes is really, it's hard. It's crazy. So, yeah. I'll take some way to get used to. Yeah, once I get my new desk set up, I'll do that. I'll have it. Well, actually. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll keep it over here on my right because I have to have the keyboard over here. So I kind of don't have room for that. So, yeah, it seems like pushing it full forward, like that's full spoilers. Like, right? That's kind of why my brain thinks about it like that. So, plus then when I'm just flying around, I can kind of have my hand on here like it's a little handle. So. Alright, let's shut this thing off here and see if it will log this in the flight book for me. Yep, there we go. 2 hours 44 minutes of flight time. And let's see, do we get the Let's see. Some way in here, there's a way to measure the distance of the flight. And I think... let me see if I can figure that out. Yeah, I think my track logs are kind of not working right in here either, Bumble. I think maybe I'm... Like, that one should be it. But it's just as comfy in the forward position, right? Yeah, well, we flew a lot farther. 175 miles. That was we flew really quickly through there, which is good. That was the idea. That was kind of the point, one of the goals. And then this just is a little extra distance to check out some other routes here. Yeah, so for the world record flight attempt, Bumble. I'm thinking we need to stay, which is one of the things we tried today, was to stay to the east, kind of on the lower terrain, and not go in over the high terrain. Which normally I would think the opposite. I want to be in the really high terrain because that's where we see the more good lift and it's better scenery or whatever. But this is a more direct route to the north, and this also avoids some of the areas where we got stuck, which we can see. Which you can see on here, further to the north. So this area right here, that's the airport that we landed at when we did the first record attempt flight. But right in here is kind of a valley, and you can get stuck in there. So yeah, so I think we want to basically connect this line to this line, straight line through here. That'll be this weekend's flight, and then this was the kind of the finale, right? So we got it broken up into multiple parts. Yeah, sounds cool. Yeah, so we got it broken up into multiple parts, and we'll just keep going from there. So if you guys are just checking out the channel, we're attempting to fly the world record free distance flight, 1,400 miles, point-to-point straight line distance, which is going to be a big task. So we're breaking that up into sections to kind of learn the area of the terrain. Anyways, follow the channel if you're interested in that, and if you just like the glider flying in general. We're going to make this attempt. The plan is for Monday, January 2nd. And thank you, Bumble, 100 followers. Yes, thanks everyone who's been following. Monday, January 2nd will be an all-day stream. Yep, congrats to you, Leo. Good job. Yeah, I didn't see. Yep, just came on. So now we need a new goal. I'll figure something out for that. But a lot of fun, you guys. And let's see. Oh yeah, also if you check us out on Discord, link to the Discord. Yeah, a nice just chatting stream, right? Check out the Discord. We post the links to the flight plans to download and the weather presets, as well as info on all the other stuff that we do for flying gliders here in the sim, which makes it super awesome. So, yep. So that's it for me, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight, and I'll see you guys again. Well, definitely Saturday. I don't know. Maybe I'll throw in a Friday stream. Maybe I'll see. Maybe if somebody has something, if somebody has a suggestion in Discord that they want to fly, maybe we'll do a Friday. But for sure, we'll be back Saturday for a longer one, like a 5-hour flight or so. So, all right, guys.